You all were able to draw this map, right? Anyone get any problem while drawing this one? Because if there's a problem, that means the issue with NCL or the installation or issue with your PC. So what we in here, what we just did is discussed about that file function and how to view the variable. This part we will discuss furthermore, because when it comes to the plotting in NCL, we have to discuss it furthermore, because it will take a lot of time to discuss about these plottings, because here we only discuss only one function. This is just a one function in NCA. This is just a only one function, like a map function we can use to create a map like this. But there are a lot of functions like this in NCL. So we will discuss this further. But the next thing we need to discuss is the language basics. What are the basic things that we can do in the NCA? First, we will discuss about the special syntax and characters that we use, and then the data types in NCL. We already discussed this on bit, like data types, and then the variables. It also we have discussed, and then the attributes, field values, and the dimensions, because we need dimensions whenever we need to make any sort of like a conversion. Like some functions in NCL, you need to have your array in a specific dimension order. Like if your array is in the order is in like latitude, then the longitude, then the time. If you do averaging or something, it will get the rightmost average, the average of this rightmost variable. So you need to have name dimensions in here, and then you have to flip the dimension. Like to be like time, then let, then load. Then you can use some functions in NCA. Otherwise, if you do averaging, it will get only the rightmost average, the dimension of the rightmost average function, the rightmost dimension. So you need to know about the name dimension, and we already discussed about the coordinate variable, then the shaping of the array and the subscripting. These two parts are the most necessary thing here. So let's go inside this lecture. So the first thing is NCL syntax that we can use in NCL. So typically we use this one, the semicolon, whenever you need to add a comment in your script. You can start like whenever you need to comment a line, like let's imagine print, you have print variable x and you need to comment this line. Whenever you run the script in the next time, you don't need to view inside what's inside the x. So whenever you need to comment this one, you can put a semicolon in front of the line. So it will never run when you are typing running your script file. So the next thing is this arrow. So you already know this arrow means what. This one means what? Because we have already used this one previously. Whenever you load the file, like using add file, you load the file, then you need to get the variable via that file function. So whenever you will use this arrow to get the data, like a specific variable from your data file. Because in your data file, you have a lot of variables. Like if you add the data to NC, you have file data.nc. In here you have different variables. U, V, then some might 10, then presentation. Then you load this file using add file function. Add file, you load this file. But inside you have 4 different variables. Whenever you need to access one variable, you have to give like we are adding this file into a variable called like if I, or you can name this one as whatever thing you like. You can put like data. Also, it's also fine. You can put like data. So because this is your data file, then you need to access only the UL inside your data file. You need to get those ULs. So whenever you need to get ULs, you can give that variable any name you like. To know that it's simply U, we can type U, and then from data. This means from data, we need to import whatever the variable inside. So here you need to know, you have to give the same exact name as mentioned in this data file. If this variable capital V is mentioned like capital V, then you have put capital V. If the temperature is named as capital temp, then you have to give here as capital T. If this one is mentioned like PEMP simple term, then you have to give like simple T. So these are the main function of this one is to get the variables from your data. So the next one is add symbol. We will discuss about this one further. It's like referring the attributes. Just imagine you get the temperature value. Then inside this temperature, you have different things like previously we discussed. Because now you are getting a variable. Inside that variable, we have the variable name, the unit, those kind of stuff for that specific variable. Whenever you need to change the unit or the variable long name, you can use like at symbol. It's like now you have here I will type like simple T because I am getting the temperature data. Whenever I need to access the unit of this file or I need to change the unit of this file, I can simply type like T and then the long name. Here in this example, we are using long name because by default, these values are in there, long name. So if we need to access long name, we can type long, then name, then we can give whatever the name we like for the temperature. Otherwise, if we type like print command, this will give the long name of temperature. So you guys can try to run this one. In future example, we will discuss it about that on furthermore. So for the example, we can load the Ubuntu and go inside the data file. Is loading, we will discuss about the next. Like here we have next we have what the exclamation mark, this one. We will use this one to get the reference like the dimensions. You know, when you loading a temperature values are typically set using like if you have levels or time, then it will be first dimension will be time, then latitude, then longitude. So if you need to access the time dimension, you can simply type T exclamation, then the 0. Because your first dimension is 0, is measured like when we come to the indexing, it's like 0, 1, then 2. So if you put 0 in here, you are accessing the time dimension of the temperature variable. If you put like T exclamation 1, you are accessing which data? From here. As according with that, you are accessing LED. If T equals 2, you are accessing load. Like this, you will have like levels in here. So if you need to access only the levels, you can give like T exclamation, the level will be 3. So you give them then? No, accessing only one dimension. If you need to get only the long values inside the T, you can type like T, then the dimension of this one. Index of the What happened? What the corrections happens with that? Because in here, typically when you load the temperature data, you have some the data is loaded in array. When you load temperature data, it may have like basically time, long, then length. But inside here you have different time stages. You will have like 12 times if you get monthly data for a year. So then you will get like loan data around 128 and then 28 latitudes. Just imagine like that. So the time, the dimension index of this time will be 0. Loan will be 1 and latitude will be 2. Just imagine if you only need to get these timings. What are the timing steps in these temperatures? You can simply type like T, then dimension 0. Exclamation 0. That means you are accessing, what this means is you are accessing the time values, all the time values inside this. So this array will give you like 2A. 12 values. 12 values means only the time data.
Get information.
Yeah, to get the information. Getting only the information. So the next one is this end mark. Is typically we didn't use this one much often. When you have the data set, but you need to, it doesn't have any latitudes or longitudes value, you can assign latitudes and longitudes for that variable using at sign. After you add at, and then you need to assign the latitudes, you can type your variable name, first your variable name, then at sign, and then the latitude, and then you have within bracket, here this one like bracket and this slash mean you are creating an array. Here you are creating an array. When you need to create an array, you need to use this mark. This what we call open a bracket and then the slash, and then you need to specify the values of your array inside. In here, then you have to close. So here we are passing the arrays like the values for your latitudes. So here he is passing, we are passing like latitudes values from -90. Then the step will be like 5 degrees and up to 90 degrees. So the next one is curly brackets. So whenever we need to do a subscripting, like yesterday I talked to you about this one. If you need to do a subscript, like when you are focusing on, you have a data set of a large region, like global scale data set, but you need to focus on a specific latitudes and longitudes. So you can use these curly brackets whenever you are going to make a subscript. So in this example, just imagine your variable is time. In time, you have 3 dimensions. The first one will be, this one will be your time steps, and this one is your latitudes, and this one will be your longitudes. So in here, what they have done, they have accessed the first time step, and then they have selected only these latitudes from that thing. So whatever the data they have, they are accessing the latitude values from -20 to 60. That means it will access all the values in between these two values. So this one is the minimum latitude, this is the minimum, and this one is the maximum value of that latitude. Then after the comma, they are specifying again within the bracket, we need to get the minimum longitude and the maximum longitude. So now just imagine if your temperature value is the global scale, and you need to specifically focus on specifically this area. So here you are mentioning about the minimum longitude, latitude levels, and then the longitude level. So now you are focusing only on this part. If you run this part, your previous temperature values are like this. Your my part. This value is like the global. Go back to only selecting the first time and focusing on specifically on this region. To do that, you have to use this kind of system. So the next one is the dollar sign. This one is like.
So can you write that code and leave it in?
Yeah. Yeah, you can type like, just imagine you are accessing this one, focus on specific latitudes and longitude. So the new one is, this one is the global event. So you need to get your specific one. So this one is like subscript for your T. So now you are accessing that T values, then first time instead comma, then within bracket you need to specify your minimum latitude, because this one is minimum longitude, and after double dot, and then the maximum longitude, close the bracket and comma, then again open a bracket, then you have to specify the minimum latitudes, then two dots, and then the maximum latitude, and then just close this one. So from here, what we are doing is from this global values, you are subscripting, focusing only the temperature values in here. After you print, if you need, after this one, you can simply create a plot. If you create a plot for by using this data, then your plot will automatically adjust into this latitudes and longitudes value you have given. But if you use this data and create a plot, it will display the entire data set of you. So you can easily do subscripting using this one.
So maybe I just told you now. And that's another out. What do you think about the video?
In here, 0.
Yes.
Yeah, which time step you are focusing?
So if you say 0, where you begin 0, 1, 2.
No, only the 0 because here I said like we have 12 time steps. Just you get the annual data, 1 year data for each month. In your data set, you have each month's data. So here the months will be mentioned like for January it will be 0. Then February it will be 1. Here I mentioned 0 only to get the January values. So if I need the February, here I need to put like 1. Because in here I have 12. The time steps I have 12. That's why I told you need to, every time you need to print and print to a summary to observe about your variable. Then you will have understanding about what are the timing steps your variable have and that kind of things.
A situation where, let's say, you upgrade timing,
Yeah.
the data,
Yeah.
the upgrade the whole thing,
Yeah.
and your data set is 1.
Yeah.
So what are you going to put there? Is it to 0 or?
If you only have one time step, you can type like 0. Then the output of this one will be, if you subscript this, the dimensions of this one will be reduced. In here, the sub-t, the dimensions of sub-t will be only load, comma, then lat. There will be no any time steps for this one because we only specify one time step. So this dimension will be reduced in this data.
So what if I not one time step, never the dimension of time? We need to drop.
No. If you omit this one, it will give you an error because in your time, in your actual that data, you have 3 dimensions. But here you are only specifying 2 dimensions. But if your original data have 3 dimensions, in here also you have to specify 3 dimensions.
You put a column.
Yeah, not colon, a bracket, comma.
Suppose you put column instead of 0.
If you put like colon like this, 2 dots like this, it will get like then this sub t will have 3 dimensions. 2 dots means you need to get the whole value, all the time steps. So here also if you need to get the whole longitudes level, you can put 2 dots. So it will access all that, then this sub t will have 3 dimensions, which is time, long, and then length. So values will be like, if this one has 12 times, if you put like this mark, then this one also have 12 times steps. So you all, here you also mentioned like you need all the longitudes level. So it will access all the longitudes and 28. But when it comes to latitudes, here you specify a range, minimum latitude and latitude. So according to this range, it will automatically keep how many time steps from here. It like the latitudes, the steps for the range for the latitude. So it will be like 8 or something. So as we discussed, this one is the parenthesis. Like whenever you need to create an array, you need to open like this. Just imagine you need to create a time step or something or sample data. You can use this array. This command like this command to use create an array. So now when it comes to that thing, the colon, if you put colon in here, there's an example. Just imagine your MyUI has dimensions like time, then the longitudes. Here your MyUI has time, then the long, and then the lat. So here what they are accessing is they are accessing all the time steps. After comma, they are mentioning minimum the specifically highlighting I need this longitude range. After that comma, then all the latitude values. So next we have the data types. In NCL you will see these all kind of data like integer, float, double, short, logical, string. and graphics. So here you can see if the integer, if your data is in integer type, it doesn't have any decimal values. Just imagine if you have temperature values in decimals in integer type, you download some data file from the internet, and in there your temperature values have the integer type data. That means those temperature values didn't have any decimal points. That means you need to convert this in type of temperature into a float or double, because float and double have decimal points. In here, as you can see, float and time has decimal points. But in here, you don't have any decimal points. So you also need to have your eye, keep your eye focusing on this one. What kind of data type you have. Whenever you are accessing data, like a variable, you need to focus on the data type of that specific variable. Sometimes you create a graph for integer type data, temperature is in integer type, and when you plot in the graph, you will get the color bar without any zero values. So
the difference between float and double was the
float and double. So here you can see the decimal points, number of decimal points. E minus 308 means the power of 10, minus 308. In float, you have this range. In double, you have this much range. In float, you only have from here to, in the double, you have from this range to 10 to the power 307. But in double, you only have 10 to the power negative 38 to 10 to the power positive 38. So only difference between these two data type is if you need to have more decimal points in your values, you can choose between those two. But if you are focusing on smaller decimal values, then you can go with float. Otherwise, you can go with double. So then there's another data type named short. It's also the same like double and float, like integer and short. It's also same. Then we have the other types like logical. Logical mean true or false. Then the string mean typically when you are having an array of like integer values, like names. Like if you have an array name, you can create an array for your data. Like if you are visualizing the data, you need to show like the months. You can create an array using this command, and then you have to type like January, then comma February. Likewise, you can type up to December. Then the type of this one will be string, because inside here you have the characters. So this variable type will be the string. Then another one is graphics, because graphics we use like whenever you need to plot like multiple lines. Just imagine you need to create a plot for temperature, like actual temperature at level 2, then the minimum temperature, and then the maximum temperature. So you need to plot these three lines in the same graph. To do that, you need to put all the values into array. So you have to pass like this one will be T min, then this one will be T max. So you need to pass all the values into array before creating a plot. So in that kind of scenario, you have to use this graphic type. Then the last one will be file. It's just like when we are creating a file using add file, the file type will be file. So
you came across the problem with the short.
yeah.
SCM would they give you a maximum, very big value?
Yeah.
What kind of time of this short?
Short.
Yes.
The values are ranging between this minimum and maximum. If you see the values inside the data values, just imagine the temperature values. If you are recording temperature or something values, it will be the minimum temperature will the range between this kind of value or this kind of value. You need to make a conversion. If your original temperature values are in the short format, then you have to use like short to float or short to double. There are default commands to do that. your temperature values, if you print, you just import that variable and you are printing T, the temperature value. In the console, you will see at the beginning the type of this one. Type of this temperature data is in like integer. For just imagine for your case, it is in short. Now you know your temperature values are in short, but you need to make a conversion. So you can do a conversion in NCL. We have default commands to do the conversions, like T equal in to flow. There's function with T equal into like into flow. There's a function. You can search on the web. So whenever you put like T and after this you print T, it will give you the output in float values. Now the T values, all the values inside here, the T will have decimal point. So whenever you get an error like that, you need to do a conversion. Your data type need to convert into another format. So that's why I'm saying you guys, you need to use this one, the print and print pass summary. You need to keep in your mind. Always you need to know about your data. What are the data types? What things are mentioned in the attribute file? You have to always print and see. Then this is the simple variable creation. Just imagine you need to do any kind of calculation. You can put like any kind of data like this. If you need to create a simple integer variable, you just need to type int equal 1. That means there's no decimal point. If you type a integer, which means your variable name equal 1. By default, NCL will assign this one as an integer by default because you didn't specify whether this is a float or a double. When you are specifying a float or double value, then you have to specify like this. You have to specify your variable like this. If you put this one, the same value, like 1.0, the NCL will understand you are focusing on a float value. So it will, if by default, it will assign this one as a float. The data type will be assigned as a float. So if you need to create a double value, then after the float, you need to type D. If you need to make this one, the value you type in a double format, then you have to assign like 0.1.0, then D. Now, by default, NCL will assign this one as double. Data type as double. Then, when you are assigning a string, then whenever you need to assign a string, you need to use this double quotation. Inside, whenever you type something inside the double quotation, it will be a string. Even if you type 1 within double quotation, this data will be stored in a string, not in a normal numerical data format. It will be stored as a data type string. So then the logical. In logical, you can only use true or false. But you have to make in your mind that in NCL, when you type true, T should be capital. When you type false, it should be capital. Otherwise, it will never recognize this one as a logical type data set. So this one is the array. The same thing goes with the array. This is to create only a simple variable. But if you are creating an array, you have to use this side. So this is an example for integer type array. And this is an example for float type array. And this is an example for double type array. And this is an example for string array. And this one is a logical array. And this one is simple 2D array because it has only 2 dimensions. So this one is another tip, like whenever you need to make values, like if you, this one is also by default command. ESSpan is a by default command.
2D array, can you speak to?
For the 2D array. So you only have 2 dimensions. Just imagine previously I to tell you about time. You have temperature, you have time, latitude, longitude. In here you have how many dimensions? 1, 2, 3. But in this array, you only have 2 dimensions. It's because if you print this one, how your data will be present? You can try to you can use the Ubuntu window. Just use that Ubuntu command. Just go here and try to type this one. Just load the NCL into interactive mode and try this one. A, you can just simply type A equal, then type this one in your console. Just try to type, and after typing, you can hit enter and print it.
What makes it to be 2D is the command.
Yeah, in the command. In the command, you can see you are assigning a 2 arrays. See, here you open one array. Here you open one array. After that, here you are opening another array. See? So, and then you create the same like this and you are closing the main array.
So we only say they are 3 because we have 3 brackets inside.
No, in 3 brackets here, this one is just a one array. This one is only one array. It's only one. Then after the comma, you are specifying that same dimension. So here you have one. After you print, just try to print this one. Just try to print. You will see at the end how many dimensions you have in there. So if you type it and get output, you will say like this. You will see it like this. After printing, just type the dimension and then print.
The course, like, example, like, what is this function?
So in here is the index. So 0, 0 means 0, 0 means last day I discussed about this
The course, like,
thing. Build. So this one is 3 by 3. So how the data is organized? 0, 0 means this one is oriented. 0, 0 means this one. So it will be 1. Then the 0, 1. 0, 1. 0, 1 means first column, second first row, second column. 2. Then first row, third column. 3. This one is 3 by 3. So 3. Then first means 1 means the second row, first value. 4. Then 5. Then 6. Then 7, 8, 9. In the code, how we specify the column? So we are specifying the first row. Then close that tile. Then the second row in the separate tile. Then the third row in the separate tile.
so in a nutshell, you are creating 3 by 3 matrix.
Yeah, 3 by 3 matrix. So just imagine if you need to create 4 by 4, what do you do? If you need to add another like 9, Then you have to do it. Then you have to add the comma before that last step. Before here you need to add a comma. Before closing this array, here you have to add the comma and then open array like this and put the values. So now your array will be 4 by 4. So if you need to create 4 by 3, what should you do?
4 by 3.
Yeah, 4 by 3. If you need to create an array 4 by 3,
It have the number.
that means in one row you should have
4 number.
4 numbers.
Yeah.
And you should have 3 arrays like them. So that means 1, 2, 3. After that 3 you can add a comma 4. Like that you can create arrays.
4 by 3.
Yeah. Then I think you now understand what about the dimension and how it is showing.
So that is storage. Maybe my question is now, what's the idea behind creating this? Are you kind of ready to see them if something?
No, when you are taking something, it will automatically create an array. But you need to have an idea. What is going on behind? What is going on behind? You need to have an idea. That's what I'm saying like this. When you are dealing with data, you will never use this kind of function. But automatically, when you print the output, you will see output like this, dimensions and the sizes.
The coordinate.
Yeah. But the thing behind, you need to understand what's going on behind. So,
That one, which one is that?
what? There are 2 arrays. We are using 2 arrays. In here, we are opening the main array. See, we are opening and closing main arrays at the start and the end.
So, like, so it's like,
So, if you need to make this one 3D, if you need to have 3 dimensions, what should you do?
3 dimension.
Yeah,
That's 3 by 3.
yeah. If you need to have like 3 dimensions, in here we have only 2 dimensions.
No,
No, the like 3 by 3. The dimensions, number of dimensions is 2. The matrix is 3 by 3, but you only have 2 dimensions. Because in here you see, you don't have this like this. Like it's stacking behind. The same array is stacking behind. You don't have one like this. So what you should do if you need to have one like this?
I'm going to create another set of.
Yeah, you have to create another set of array using these command, 2 commands. So you can try to do it by using the same thing. Just place it twice. So here I need to open an array and then I will copy
Just put the
this entire thing. So we get another was give me array using this. This also in number of dimensions on the right hand side do not see the number of dimensions on the left hand side. Check.
Siapa kue
So, okay, I will discuss about this one later. I will check the issue. We will go ahead because it will take some time. Otherwise. So that's how you can create array. We will check. I will show you how to create 3D array later because I need to check this one. Because you are not typically you are not creating any arrays, but only thing you need to make in your mind whenever you need to make an array, something like this, you need to use these commands, the opening bracket and the closing bracket. You need to keep in your eye about these two. When you are specifying an array, you need to use those two brackets. So next thing, or you can try this one also. You can try to create an integer one and get the print. Just type a and print. You can try to do it. Just try to do it. You see over NCL. Then if I type like a equal 1 and I need to print this one. I will print a. So here you can see what's the type of this one. The type of a is in integer format. So if I type like b equal 1.0, then if I print this one, what's the type? Dimension is 1 because we only have one value. If you create a list, you can create a list and print. It will show like a list. It will be not an array. It's not an array, it's a list. It's a list. Whenever you need to create an array, that's the difference between those two. Whenever you need to create an array, you need to use this one. Whenever you are creating a list, you can use in here, I forget the command. This one or this one. Maybe this one. You can try this one. You cannot use this. When you are creating a list, we'll check this one later. So to create a list, I think, let me check. Or when you are creating the list, you cannot use any syntax. You have to use this command. When you are creating a list in NCL, you have to use this one, new list, this command. You don't have any option to create a list in NCL. Only way is to use this one, this function. Whenever you need to create a list, there you can try to do all these things. If you need to have a double like c equal 3.2d, and you need to print the c, you will see now is in double. Then if I print like d equal within quotation, I type 1, hit enter and print e. Now in here, DS is string format.
So how about if you put, let's say, 3.2 without putting G?
Even within the bracket, if you mention like, even within the bracket, if you mention like 1.0, now if you print D, it's also a string. So now I think you see something like this. Instead of using 1, I use this. D equal 0, 1 point thing, I use like 2 dots, 2 dots and 0. What does it mean? This one plus equal. Because previously I create a variable named D. Now I need to remove this one. If I assigning this D a different type of data type, first I need to delete this D. And then after that I need to reassign that value. If you are using the same variable name. So in NCL, after NCL 6.2, they developed this one, this syntax. Whenever you need to delete the previously assigned values and the data types, and you need to assign a new type of data into that same variable name, you can use 2 dots equal. So it will delete all the values in the previous variable and assign the new values into the that same variable name.
So if you don't do that, which value will be NCL prefer, the first one or the last one?
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah, first one.
The one which
Not the last one. So here you can see the variable creation and deletion. So whenever you make a variable, here I create a variable name. You also can do it this one in the NCL terminal. You can interactively create A, then PI, then S. So this is a function like what they're doing. Get the tan value of 0.1 arctan value and multiplying it by 0.4. This is to simply get the pi value 3.143. So then this one is a string array. So the third one is like getting the data. For this one, they are inputting a file name using add file. They are inputting a name like f equal, then add file the function. Then there's a variable name precipitation. So they are getting that data. Then here you use a random normal function. This is a function, inbuilt function in NCA, random normal. So you can search about this function in the NCL website, then it will give you some idea. And then here also they are using new. Whenever you need to create an array, you can use this new command. Instead of specifying all the dimensions and the type of the array, you can create a new array using this one. And then whenever you need to delete this value, you can print like delete a. You only need to delete the variable a, you can use delete a. Or if you need to delete this one, you can use delete 5. If you need to delete all the functions, like all these things, you can simply pass all the variables into an array and press delete. So now this one will delete all the values. Whenever you need to delete multiple values using a single command, in this one, you need to use this syntax. After that, you need to specify all the variable names that you need to delete. After a comma, you need to specify all the variables you need to delete. Because this one will be important when you are dealing with a huge data set. When you are dealing with the huge data set, you make analyze or something using the data. But when you come to the plot, you are not using the previously used data. Before creating the plot, you can delete all the previous data. because when you are creating the plot, it will use more amount of your RAM in your PC. So if you have a less amount of RAM in your PC, it will give you different, like in the terminal, it will give like the processor has been killed or something. So delete command is much more useful when you are using when you are dealing with in a large script and you are importing different variables. Just imagine you will find like some different NC files closer to 10 GB or 5 GB, and you are exporting two different variables from there. Then it will use lot of amount of your RAM to store those variables.
Like for example, yeah, at the top, I did something like I found main.
Yeah.
Now I have already used the main. I don't need it.
Yeah. Then you can delete those.
So quality.
But after deleting, you cannot use that value in the top bottom.
So will it affect the results I had before I delete?
Yeah. Okay. Whenever you make something, like you use all the functions, like using that mean value, all the things you are dealing with that mean value, you need to make in the top. After you finish dealing with those mean values, you can simply delete. After you print like delete the variable name of your name value, the lines after this will never have a variable name. This one, if you print name the average values in X, you cannot use X variable anywhere in here because it's deleted from here onwards. But you can use that X before this command. But from here onwards, you cannot use X because you already deleted that value. So here you can create a new variable X and assign it to something. I think you understand. Because after deletion, there will be no values. Let me open the terminal and show you some example because I with the NCL. Clear this one. Go for the new window. I will assign variable name A equal to 2.0 and I will print this one, print A. This one, that's the. So now you can see this one. If I print like delete and hit enter, if now I try to print this one, it say like variable A is undefined. That means I have deleted that variable already.
Like I wanted to do like this. You have to define the A.
Yeah.
A. You print A, you have it.
Yeah.
Now I take the 4 divided by A.
Yeah.
I get a certain result. I give it to level B.
Yeah.
I print it, I get it. Then what if I delete it? I will still get to this.
You can try it. Let's try it. Let's try to do it. You are saying like A equal just imagine like 2 times 2, then B equal A times 2, then I delete A. Now if I try to print A is not there. But if I try to print B, will it be there or not? It's there.
Okay.
Because I use that thing and assign into the B already. So I don't need that value. I can remove it. So you asking me like that you use that mean value to calculate something and you assign that to a new variable, and after you delete that mean value, will it affect to that variable? No, it's not affect. But you cannot use that mean value in a different command after this deletion. Now I cannot use like calculate C or something like using A. 2 times A. I cannot calculate like this.
Why do you want to, while we are using it, we have already defined it as 2, and we use it, A is equal to that A
times 2.
Times 2.
That means 4.
So then you set.
Yeah.
Why?
No, for an example.
So normally you use the name. It's kind of normal.
Yeah.
So you want to shorten the name. You want to repeat using the name. Like you want to use the name. Not mean you want to make something else. You're already used it. And you still want to use it. So again, so that you be really friendly.
Because at the end you will be, yeah, because you don't want it. This is because to you guys to show that after you delete in that value, you cannot use it again. So if you after the deletion, if you need to use that again, that value again, if you make a calculation, you have to make that exact calculation again. See now it cannot understand what does A mean. But if I type like A equal 4 now, the 4 is assigned. So I can run this one. If I run print, see now it will be like 8 because 4 is A is 4 and C is like 2 times 4. So that's how you can create and delete variables. So the next one is conversion between data types. So whenever you try to make conversions, you need to use these kind of functions. If you go to this website, it shows different functions. This is to convert some data type into a float. To int mean if you need to convert some data type from any other data type, like if you have x in float or double, you can use to int to convert that value into integer value.
I think this is important here.
Yeah, this one is much important when you are dealing with the data. Because if your temperature values are in integer or some kind of data, you need to convert it to a double or float type before you are proceeding ahead. Proceed with that data set ahead. So in the NCL website, you will see different kind of type converters. Here I only mentioned say a few of those things. So in the NCL website, you will see a lot. Let me send this link to WeChat.
It means that if I cannot convert the float into double, but double to float.
You can convert because in the slides I only show few of the commands, but in NCL website you have a lot of things. See the conversions. Here you have a lot of conversion types. If you need to convert byte type to the float, you can type like byte to float, float to double, short to float, double to float. In the website you will see a lot of commands, but in the slides I only put these two to give you an example. But in that website, in the NCL website, you will see more functions that you can use. So I have put that link in the group. So you can go there and check all the type converters that you can use in the NCL. So whenever you click like byte to float, it will give you what kind of thing that you can use. See? And there are some examples in the bottom. So if X is in byte type data, then it will convert into float. So you can try this example. So here here at the beginning, we are saying like X equal 1.5. That means assign X into a float type data. Now we are assigning X equal 15.20 because it also working. But when you type like X equal 1.5 D2, it will give you an error because you are assigning X equal 1.2 D mean it's like decimal and 2 decimal points. D2 mean 2 decimal points with 2 decimal points. So here at the beginning you assign x as a float type, and again you assign this value, it will be also a float. But in here you are asking it to assign decimal value type into a float type data. So you can try to run this one in NCL command window, the Ubuntu terminal. In the Ubuntu terminal, interactive command you can type. So you will understand what I am saying. So here I am assigning x equal 1.5 and you have to go to the NCL. X equal 1.5. So if I print x, now the data is in float. So now if I type like x equal 15.20, is also assigned. If right now I print like x, what will be the value? Because I didn't delete that variable. I didn't delete that variable. So what's the new value? New value will be 15.20. But check on the data type. See the data type? It doesn't change. The data type is still float. In here also the data type is float. Because at the beginning, this one will assign by default in NCL, this one will assign float data type into that variable type.
For this part, why is that we already define x?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We still define another x as 1520.
It's not a define. It's another. It's not the another x.
Like, but my question is, if this doesn't like kind of keep it in memory, like, oh, we have already set x as this, why is it, you know?
No, instead of using different variables, at sometimes like when you are doing calculation, you can use the same one.
No.
You assign one variable, like otherwise you can do it like that also. You can assign like x equal this and y equal that. But what I am saying is instead of using like that, you can use like x equal this and you can do some calculation with that x.
I pretty understand this because my question is, this thing is not like kind of keeping it in memory because you have already defined x.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then at the same time, you define x as another number.
Yeah.
So if you
Now what it will do is it will assign only the value, not the data type.
So if you assign the immediate
No.
time bar,
At the beginning, if I say like x equal 1, it will assign, by default, it will assign integer value. So after this one, I am using like x equal 2. By default, it's already assigned this one, the data type of the x as integer. But right now, if I put like x equal 2, it's only changing the value inside the x, not the data type.
like it does replace it.
Yeah, it's just replacing the value. It's only replacing the value. But after this one, after this command, if I type like x equal 1.5d, it cannot do. Why? We'll type like 1.5d. So why it can't execute this one? It's because by default in NCL, at the beginning I tell you guys, if you assign 1.0, this one will be float by default. But if I type 1.0d, now I am forcing NCL to make that the type of data type of x into double. But that thing can't be done without deleting this variable. Either you need to delete this one, you can type like delete x and do that one, or you can type like x, this syntax 5d. Now see, this is the simple syntax. If you use this syntax, what it do is it already delete the data type and the values in there and assigning the new data type into the x. Otherwise, you can use those two commands. First, you need to delete x, and after that, you have to assign that.
So literally, what this means is that if you define something, then you define it, just replace it.
Yeah, only you are replacing the values inside, not the type. You at the beginning, if you create a variable and assign a value, whatever the value, whatever the data type that the thing that you type will be assigned as the data type for that specific variable. After that, if you say use the same variable and replace it using a different number, it will only replace the content in there, not the data type. So when now if I print this one, if I now print this X, now it's in double format. Just imagine now I need to convert this one, this double type into float or something. I can type like new variable y equal to float X. If I type like print y, now what it is doing? Now the data type of y is in float. So it automatically convert the data type of that value into float. Just imagine if you have an array, you can do the same thing into the array also. You read NC file and you get the temperature values, and there you see the temperature values in double or float or something. You need to convert it into a different format, data format. You just need to use like to float, or you can go to this NCL website and see all the data type, the conversion functions that are available in there, and use one function from there to convert your data into your specific format, data type. So you need to keep in your mind this thing also, because when you are plotting some data, you will see like in the bar, color bar or something, you will see different value. It's because of this conversion, the data type conversion. Then here I am calling about the attributes. This one is about the attributes. Last time, I think you guys remember when we print a variable and assign it into the variable, and when we are printing the print var summary, if you print some data value and if you type like print var summary, you should see these kind of things like field value, what's the field value and what's the unit and what's the long name. Whenever you need to bypass that thing, by default, just imagine you get the temperature value from using the N5 function, you are getting the temperature value. Using N5 function, there's the NC file you download from Nova or somewhere else. There's the NC file which include data. It's like temperature data.nc. You can use N5 function, which will be F. Then you get in this temperature value using F. In the temperature value, the original variable name is capital T, you are getting the temperature values. So this one here, if you do like NCL file dump or NC dump, you can see the type of this one, the unit of T and the long name and the field values, everything, even in there. So now you get this all the T values and you make the conversion. Like here the temperatures are in Kelvin. Just imagine the temperature is in Kelvin. Now you need to make the conversion into the Celsius. So you subtract all of these values like simple T. This one will be like T Celsius. I will name it as TC or something. Then 273 minus 5. So now all of values will be converted into Celsius. Now if you access C, it will be in Celsius, but you didn't convert their attributes long name. Even though if now you know TC, the values of TC are in Celsius. But if you print TC and the attribute, the long name, TC and long name, you make the print command like this, it will print you the default unit in here. Because you didn't convert the unit. Whenever you create a plot using this TC also, by default you will see at the back in here, the unit will be in Kelvin. But in the scale bar, you will see values like Celsius values. To change this scale, you need to use this at value. Like whenever you need to change this one, you can type like TC at then the long name equal. Within bracket, you can assign the new values. If your values are in Celsius degrees, you can type degree Celsius. Now, the attribute long name attribute of this TC is changed. Now, whenever you will use this TC, to make a float, the unit will be Celsius in here. So, whenever you need to access those kind of attribute values and you need to change, you have to use the variable name, then that. When you print the variable, you will see what are the attribute names that you can use. When you print your data, you will see what kind of attributes are in there. So you can change those attributes. And also you can assign those attributes. There are some list of attributes that you can assign into a variable. Here, when you need to change the units and the long name, and if you are using to calculate this one a specific model, you can assign the models also. So whenever you send those data to someone, he will understand that this data type of this data is in here, this kind, the unit is this one, and the type is this one, and then he used this model. That kind of information will be there.
Yeah,
I think we need to go and check this one. That's why. Because in here I will exit and I will go, where is my data? I need to check where is my data first. I think I sent that Atmos file to all of you guys in that previous sessions, right? Atmos.nc. CDMNT.
Explain the life. We have to explain
So in this directory, I have this file. I think I have already sent this file into the WeChat group also previously. Atmos.nc. I think I have sent this file previously. If you guys doesn't have it, I will send it again. Let me send it again.
Thank you.
If you guys have that file, you can use. Otherwise, you can use this one. So now I am going to do the NCL file dump command in here. So I know in this variable what are the variables I have in here. The different type of attributes that I have variables. So here I have a variable named t. If you do the NCL file dump, you will see that you have a variable named t, which includes time, level, latitude, and longitude. And here you can see this. This is what I am talking about. Long name. Long name is in temperature, and your units are in Kelvin. So now you can import this t into a simple t variable in NCL. You can use NCL. You can go here. I will add f file in equal add file. Then within double quotation, I need to put my file name. My file name is atmos.nc, and I need to read this one. Comma R, and I will close the parentheses, and I will hit enter. Now from there I need to extract from f in. I need to get all the values in t, because in here temperature the variable name is capital T, so I have to put like capital T. So I can hit enter. Now if I print var summary, I will see the data type is in float, and then the dimensions. Time, I have only one, time dimension is only one, and levels, I have 30 levels, and the latitudes I have 64, and longitudes I have 128. So here also you can see all the time step. Time step will begin from, it's only one time step, and the levels are from here to here, and the latitude levels are from here to here, and the longitudes are from here to here. So in here you can see the attributes, because now I am talking about the attributes. You have long name, units, and time OP. That means what kind of function they have used, average. So now I know this temperature values are in Kelvin. So if I need to make change, like if I need the temperature values in Celsius, I can type like Tc equal T minus 273.5. So now if I print Tc, print the var summary of Tc, instead of typing it entirely, I will use previous one, and I will put like Tc. Now here what you see in the Tc also, I didn't run that command. So first I have run this one, then print var summary Tc. So in here the Tc I doesn't have any long name or anything. In here in this Tc I don't have anything. And when you multiply in some values, here that typically when you do subscript, it cannot affect like this. Okay, now you see there are no any dimensions, like there are no any attributes for this Tc. If you print Tc, you will see. Now I convert. In here I convert the values into the Celsius. Here I convert the values into the Celsius, and now I print that one. In here you will see there are no any attributes. After you print, you will see the data type and the size and the dimensions. Even the dimension names are gone in here. Only the dimension size. But at the beginning when you print this one, it includes all the things. Latitude, level, and everything. But in here it is completely gone. But in typically I don't know what happened. In when you do multiplication or something with your data, typically NCL like removing all the coordinates, attributes, and everything from there to keep those all the values like the levels, time, and those like dimension names. If you see something like that, you can use copy var codes. There's a command named copy var codes to copy all the coordinates into your newly calculated data. So this command. So you can use this command. If you see your data, the coordinates and everything is missing after you make a calculation. In here you can see at the beginning when I print t, here I am printing the t. No, when I print the t, is showing me all the things like attributes and coordinate and everything. So after I make this calculation, after I convert in this t value into the Kelvin, when I print this TC, it's showing me only these values. You can see the difference. There's no coordinates and there's no attribute names. So either what I can do is I can create all the coordinates and I can create all the attributes, or I can copy all the coordinates and the attributes which were assigned previously into that t value. So whenever I need to copy all those information into new file, what you can do is here you can use this command. You can use this copy var codes command. Just type this one, copy var codes. I will copy this. I will put this one into your Google, into the group also. So I will type copy var codes, and here if you go to the website, they mention then from to which variable. So from here I need to copy the variable coordinates from t to tc. So if now I print var summary tc, now you will see all those information are there for the tc also. Variable tc, you have coordinates and the dimension names also. See, now you have coordinates, but previously you don't have any coordinates in here. In your TC, you don't have any coordinates, but now after you click in this command, copy var codes, this one copying the coordinates from which variable and assign it to the new variable.
Get to complete that. You open this one.
Yeah.
You open this one. This should belong the same.
No, this one, these are two different windows.
Like independent files or independent or
No, this one I used to do like print var summary and stuff, not print var summary, NCL file. So I can check what are all the variables in there in that NCL file. So I don't need this window again. I will maximize this one. So I don't need that. So at the beginning, what I have done, let me go from the beginning. I will clear these all the things. Exit. Then clear. NCL. F in equal at 5. C, comma, wait. I use other in the Ubuntu window to inspect this one because now I already add the file, but I don't know what are the variable names are in there. So when I do NCL file dump, I can see all the variables for this specific NC file. So from there I know there's a variable name T. Here there's a variable name T. So I just only need to import these T values. So I will use this command, this the other window to import those values. So here I will assign those temperature values from F in into the simple T values. Now if I print var summary simple T, now you will see In simple T, the data type is float, and there are some attributes named long name, unit, time OP, and all the coordinates. Because in here I know these temperatures, the unit of these values in Kelvin. Because if I need to check these values, I can simply, instead of printing var summary, I can use like print K, print T. So if I print T, now you will see all the values inside this. Inside shell file, the values are in Kelvin. You can use like print command. Now I need to do the conversion because I know these values are in Kelvin. I need to do the conversion. If you print, you will get like you need to press single more. Here this one and again type. Or we can create a script. Let's go with the script instead. Because right now we are dealing with the interactive mode. Instead of dealing with the interactive mode, let's go for the scripting. So now just open where your file is. Go to the location where you copy that your file. Attendance? Okay. Okay. Let's do this one with the script. Instead of going interactively, let's do a script. So now then you will go with the script and the same thing. Otherwise you will print. If you use the print command, it will print all the values in there. So that's why otherwise you have to hit enter to print, see all the values. After that you can start coding. Okay. So you guys can scan this QR. Because from Monday onwards, we can go ahead with the floatings and the graphic, because that's the most important part. But you need to keep in your mind, like these basic ideas you have to keep in your mind before go for the floating. You have more time. Shit, what? So if you guys need a break, you can come back 3:50.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
you mentioned that if you are variable, you don't have coordinate.
Yeah.
So you check this T.
Because whenever here you can see this is the variable and these are the dimension it has. So given MDIA1,
No variable.
this long name MDIA1 is unknown. The units are unknown because they mention like units unknown. We don't need that variable. Even I don't know about this data file. I'm using about the demonstration. There you will see like variable name T, temperature.
Yes.
This one. So that one has 4 dimensions. Dimension names are time, level, latitude, and longitude. So in there, for T, you will see different attributes. T has like attribute, long name, attribute,
But no coordinate.
Yeah. Even here, you have coordinates because you have coordinates, latitude and longitude. But the problem is in NCL, when we do some calculations, like whenever we get like T, just because we change those temperatures value into simple, and we need to show like the multiplication or something, or multiplication. We multiply this even with like 100. Right? If we do the multiplication in NCL, even though this one has like coordinates and long names and everything, the value for assigning and the numeric for assigning all the attributes, dimension, attributes and the coordinates will be gone and we copied only the values on the to the these. To copy all the variables and everything in there, this way will be used copy mark. This one is inbuilt function in NCL. Whenever you copy the machine variable details, because we know all the longitude levels are same and all the latitude levels are same in this piece. Only the values. We just make the alternation to the values needed. Now we need to copy all those metadata information from T to TC. Otherwise, we have to assign all those metadata by using those syntax. When you assign the attributes, you can use that command, then the attribute name and assign it. And even for the latitudes and longitudes, you can use like.
So why instead of this, we should use this.
Yeah.
We are already assigned the boundary, like here.
Yeah. Yeah. So but the problem is the coordinates are not changed. When you do the calculation like multiplication or something, the coordinates will be removed. This is the problem with this. Yeah, only taking the values in there. Everything will be same, like the dimensions will be there, like the instead of dimension names you will see all the dimensions, the levels of dimensions are same, like 8 into 1 into 64 into 128. You will see like this, but you will see any dimension change.
So you can only use this time or something.
No, for any kind of thing you make a calculation, you can do it for any kind of data. But whenever you make a calculation, you need to keep in your mind that NCL is removing all the variable metadata information from there. Yeah. Whenever you do a calculation, after you done this, you have to run this command to copy all the values. After copying, whenever you know that after you can print this DC, then you will see all the coordinates are there.
Then you can have the
Coordinates and names and all things are there. But the problem is, you convert this value into something else. So unit is changed. So now you need to type like DC and that long name you see in there, the same long name, and assign the new name for this one. Because when you are plotting, there are like you can use some commands, this at the main title or something. Instead, if you didn't use this one for the plotting command, it will by default it will print this long name in front of the data set. Like when you are printing, you make the conversion into the Celsius and you may create the plot. And in the color ramp, you will see the Celsius values in the color ramp. But it will get the by default unit information here, DC at by default. You mention it here at the top. So it will be in the Kelvin. So if you need to change this one,
this will be out. You don't copy this one. You have to define TC.
Yeah.
Then you put this copy.
Copy this. Where are you copying this? So I'm copying the coordinates from the original or the coordinate value. So then after copy one. I'm copying those things into DC. This command is to use only to copy the coordinates, not the values.
So what I'm going to define.
Definitely.
Okay. So this one automatically reflect it.
Yeah, it's applying for the key value. So now key values will be converted into Celsius and assigned into the DC coordinate. DC variable. But the problem is in DC, you will see after you get the DC, there are no any coordinates. So we need to copy the coordinate. Copy the coordinates values, we need to use this command. The copy coordinates. Otherwise, we cannot plot this. We try to print like plot this DC, it gives you an error because there are no coordinate variable in the DC. So now you need to copy all the coordinates and DC. After that, you need to change the things inside this. Because now the units are different.
Okay, so after you have done that, you got your value, you change the you take the
Coordinates. Otherwise, you can do like this.
So you have to change the
If you copy the coordinates, you can do it like this. Simply type T equal 100 times T. Now, this will assign all the P values as values. That's what I can do like this. 1. X equal what happens? The only English by default is when we assign integer. So after I write this one again, it will only change the value. So change goes here.
So here
Yes, you change the value. copy the values and you can give the so you can use the like this. But if you change the name, you have to type like copy var. It depends on you. If you are going to use that's also yes, because any other part. So you need to keep this things in there. Because after you type like this thing, after you get if you accept the D value sign says it. So again you need to convert this into value. But if you find this the top line you assign this one different type, you have this value with you. But if you make the conversion like T, like you can put T and the later part in here.
So if you have done this one, you select it down for this thing.
Yeah.
Then you come and change.
Yeah, change the units and everything.
But it's good to do
Yeah.
that. Maybe
In the previous, in the later part, you need the temperature values in the Kelvin. Otherwise, you have to make this conversation again. That's the game.
it's good to do it step by
Yeah.
step.
Yeah.
That's how development was.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, yes.
When you have a huge script to do some calculations, then these kind of things. But in MATLAB, you can see. You will see in the MATLAB, whenever you create a variable, that thing is appearing in that workspace. If you are dealing with the MATLAB, you can see. But NCL, unluckily, we cannot say what are the variables we already assigned and what are there. We have to keep it in your mind.
Yeah.
So that's it, we can use comments. That's why we need to use comments. What you are doing is the following. That's why we have comments. Even in the programming language, we cannot remember what we see. So it's better to have comments.
And if you come in, then you have to
I think we can start right now. You guys ready? We can start. Now the first thing is just copy that file into somewhere in your PC. The Atmos file, you need to copy that thing. Copy that file into a folder. In my PC, I copied that thing into F. IMSA training day 2. In there, I have my atmos.nc file. Because now we are going to create a script. We are not going to deal with like interactive mode in NCA. At the beginning, I told you guys you can do like interactive or you can go with the scripting part. So now we are going to use the scripting part. So after you copy this file, just right click and create a new file. I will create a new text document. Just right click, new, and then new text document. Copy the file, then you need to press new. After that, you need to go for new text document. Yeah, click on new text document. Then you can type, right click, new text document. After you get, no, now you need to rename this. Now you need to rename whatever the name you like. I will give like day 2, then dot NCL. Or we can do it like this. Instead of doing this, we can do this like you guys may be confused when you doing this one. So you can open Sublime. Just open Sublime text editor that we have installed in your PC. Just open it. Sublime, the text editor that we installed previously, this one. We installed this one previously in your PC. Sublime, the notepad, the Sublime text editor. Just open it. Yeah, just open it. Now we need to create a new script file. So we have to go file, save. So you can hit like save as. Just go for file, save as. You have to click file, then save as. Okay, then you have to go to the file, then save as. Then now you have to go to the specific folder where your file is, that Atmos NC file is. In my PC is in IMSA, day 2, write this location. Now you need, in here you have to type your file name. I will type this one, day 1. What? .ncl. You have to type .ncl because whenever you're making an NCL script, you need to give the script name like the format as .ncl. Here you will see like .ncl. And the save as format should be all files type. So you can give whatever the name you like. NCL. NCL mean NCL script. .nc mean so here you have to give your file name. You can type whatever the name you like. Then at the end you need to type .nca. That's the main thing you need to keep in your mind. At the end you need to make sure that you are typing .nca because now this one will be in NC file. If you are dealing with Python, if you need to make a Python, it will be like .py. So if it is a setup file, it will see .exe. Just remember, save as time. You can save as time. Just leave it as whole type. Whole file type. Just leave it default. Yeah. Just leave it by default and save. So now if you go back to your folder, you will see there's a new script file name saved. The name that you give with the NC, and you will see the type. Here you will see the type. This one is NC file and this one is NCL file. Whenever you need to create a script, that's how you can create a script. No, this one is the text file. You have to easily answer that something as a script file. So you can take the other one because previously I was saying like when you create this one, you have the one you can read it. But in the by what they are turning into because you will accidentally remove that file. Just if you have a setup file or something, you will rename the user extension. So it will be changed. That's why they untick that one. And you push here changes. They are not for even though I say this one has a good thing, select button, they have to click. Now, if you need to reset, you can double base. See, this is the name. After that, we say that if you need this one change, you can try it, and then you can put it. Now, we say last week change. Now, the file will because you have to do it. So we create another file. But what's the yeah, different ways of create file. It's better to create the file like this way. Go to the sometimes that's now if you just double click yeah, just double click. The moment you ask is by default you check on the supply. And okay. Now when you are restricted to the file name, it's not. Now when you are increased resources are
What it was yes,
so if you support NCL format, you can go to the file. Don't have the right better. I think it's better to keep it one. Just keep it like old file. And because we wanted to give the extension. Otherwise, you can get this extension to see what I'm trying to give. But after the extension. So that means we don't need change the mind. We don't need to change the mind. Because we already give white type is not there. So the command is already there. White type is in five name is some is not yeah, so it's asking if you pay for file what after it is required the market is the same. So we don't need to check the line because we don't want to waste my time. So sometimes you will see if you guys click the file after the you can see now your data file and this script file be in the same location. You need to keep in your mind. These two should be in the same location. Do you guys getting any errors while creating this file? If not, now you need to make sure that your script file and the data file should be in the same directory. So now you can go to the scripting stage, and first what we are going to do, just whenever you make a script, when you are creating a script, just use comments. Whenever you need to type comment, you need to put this semicolon. After the semicolon, whatever thing you type after the semicolon will not be executed in the NCL window. So this is for your own use. When you type a script, when you make a comment, after like several months, you're going to read that same script. So you can read only the comments and understand what you have done in this script. So you can add comment, and now at the first we are going to import file name atmos.nc. So this is the script. This is a sample comment. So in the following line, what we are going to do, I just add a comment. So whenever I send this script to someone, he knows from the following lines what I have done. So the first thing that we are going to do is add the file. So if in equal what's the file to add the file? Add file. So whenever you see add file, you can click here or you can press tab. If you press the tab, it will automatically say like file path, then you have to assign the file path and the status. So my file path, I know my file is in the same directory. Because I know my file is in the same directory. If I go to here, I know now my file is in the same directory. So I can type within these two commas, I can type atmos.nc. But here you cannot get the file name like pressing the tab. You have to specify your name, the file name. Then after the comma for the status, you have to delete this one. And within brackets, you have to mention R. because we are going to read this one only. So we can add another comment here. This is to read our data file. So this is a comment. So what we have done in that line, we can mention. So now we import that one. So
This report, our submit is with the same directory.
yeah, this should be in the same directory. If this file, just imagine in case your file is in here, instead of here, I will create a new folder. There's another folder name. This one I will rename as data, and that file is in your data folder. Now the data file is not directly with the script file. So I know now the data file is in data atmos. So here now you need to change this one to data inside data atmos. If your data file and the script are not in the same location, you have to give the specific path for your data file. So then you need to hit enter. After that, I will hit enter to get the new line, and in the next line, I will import my temperature values to the simple t variable. Simple t is equal f in. From f in, I'm going to import capital T to check all the values what you can do, because from here I am using T because I know in my atmos.nc file there's a variable named capital T. How you can check that file? How you can check all the variables in that atmos.nc file? You can either you can use NC dump or you can use NCL file. Then it will give all the variable names in there. So you can use whatever the variable name you need after f in this arrow, and whatever the variable you want to import to do some processing or to do some plotting or something.
So when this gets in there, it means that people will come in for the
Yeah.
have no plan.
Yeah, before you come into this step, you have to go open a Ubuntu window, and you have to open the Ubuntu window and just go to your directory. I will go back to my home location. So now you will have a window like this because now you are in the root directory. So now you have to go there and check your data. So now you have to cd, change your directory into your original file location. My file is in D, my file is in F, and it's in IMSA training. IMSA training day 2. And if I print ls, here I have that data folder and my script file. So now my data file is inside there. So I will go inside the data file. Data. So now if I print ls, now my file is there. So now I can use either nc dump h atmos nc, or I can use ncl file dump to view all the variables, like what are the attribute names, variable names inside there. So here you will see lots of variables in there, but I am focusing on the temperature variable. So if you go up, you will see there's a file name variable float t, and the unit is t, and the average value, this one is temperature. So you can use this one. So from there, I know there's variable capital T. That's why I'm using that capital T in here. So to check this one, you have to check your data file for what type of variables. NCL file dump or NC dump.
This part for your data slash atmosphere. Like, oh, you don't have to put like this, like, see, this, or.
No, because my script from the, this is when you are running a script, you only need to specify from the script, the location from the script. Otherwise, you can just type like MNT, it will also work. MNT slash F slash, then you can type the entire path also. Otherwise, you can only type the folder and the data type. So it will understand both things. Here you have to give where your data file is. If your data is with the NCL file, you don't need to type this one, because in my situation, my data file is here, but my netcdf file is not in this root directory, it's inside the data file. That's why I'm using this command. If your data and the NCL script both are in the same location, you can just delete this one.
Yeah, you can skip to the buffer.
But if your data file is in a folder, different name, like IMSA or something, you can here type IMSA, then the Atmos. But here, my data is inside the data folder. So now, after that, you can type like print. To check all the values, you can type print, or you can type print var summary, because we need to get only the variable summary of your T. So print var summary, this command is for what? You can type to check the variable summary. It's better to add comments, whatever thing you do, because after several months you will forget about the code that you also already written. So okay, now how we can run this file? So I will make like this half, and the other half will be my command prompt. So it will be easy for me to run the scripts. I will clear this one. So whenever you write a new line in script, you can go back into the console and run that script and check. So it's better to have one side for your script and the other side for to run the script. The Ubuntu terminal is better, because now we are dealing with the script now. Whenever you may add new line into the script, you can save that script and run it on the Ubuntu and check whether you have any errors in the script or not. So now here you have to go into your exact folder, because right now I am in the root directory. Right now I am in my root directory, so I have to go into, before I run the NCL script, I have to go into the location where my NCL script is. But my NCL script not in the root, so I will cd into the location where my NCL file is. So if I print ls, now I see day 1 NCL. So this is the script file that I am dealing with. So whenever I need to run this NCL file, first hit Control S in the Sublime window, go to Sublime window and Control S. So now you already saved the file. Now you can go to the Ubuntu window interface and just type NCL space, then your file name. Here I have my script name day2.ncl. You can type day2.ncl. NCL, then space your file name. There you can hit enter. See?
Now, mine has the finished it, but it doesn't display it.
If you didn't get any output, that means you didn't type this print var summary. Otherwise, you didn't save the script. Just go to there and Control S, save the script. Because whenever you make the save, it will save in that location. Otherwise, even though you run the script, there is no any saved commands inside the script. So whenever you make a modification, you need to save it. Yeah, I think you didn't save it. So that's why I'm saying it's better to have these two windows separate.
The problem is that we are looking at the same window.
For me,
If you everything is in the same window, you can just hit Alt and Tab to switch between two different tabs. Just press Alt and Tab once, so you can see. You can switch between two tabs.
for me,
Okay, I think everyone. Do you guys have any problems while running this script?
Yes, I don't know why.
Check whether you have saved the script or not. Otherwise, the next thing is you have to check whether you are in the same location which you are in.
So it means we
Don't type NCL and anything. If you type NCL and anything, it will execute then you see the 5 minutes now so but if you make this one is hard to be this one. All guys are joking that one feet. It's plus one for So it's okay then you can even print and check the data. Instead of print summary, I can here just print T and hit save, and I can run the same command. Now it will print all the data. See, now it will print all the data. Inside the data set, it will print all the data set. So now I see the data values for each location. So here you will see 0, then the level, this one is time, this one is level, this one is longitude, this one is latitude, the index for each value.
That's what I said. That's the initial stage. Yeah.
It's because when you are specifying the file, it should be in the double quotation. The file name should be in the double quotation and the art should be also in the double quotation. So you can see they are mentioning like identify like this. So it should be seen after dot LC. That means we can specify the file name. I think also the process. Even for the next one, but the problem is actually they are also lots of modifications. So the next part you can check. Yeah, the variables, some of the few phrases. It's all connecting both the coordinate information and the dimension information of the point. Basically, find something region. You can bring this by example. You can no, it should not. You have but you want to give one target for that. Yes, give one target. So now you see the data, all the data is in. So all the data are in Kelvin. That's why. So now you see the difference. Also you see the difference between print var summary and print. What's the difference between print var summary and print? What's the difference between two commands? Print var summary versus print. the overall picture about your variable, how many dimensions are there, what are the attribute names, and those kind of information. But if you print at the top, it will also print command. It will also provide you all the information, the variable summary, data type, and everything. After that, it's printing every data, each and every data inside that variable. So here you can see, first thing is we know when we print var summary, if I print var summary, instead of this one, I will use this and hit run. So here I only get these values. So now I know first one is first dimension is time, then the level, then the latitude, and then the longitude. Here you can see first time is step, 29th level, the index of 29th level, and the longitude, the index of 63rd longitude, and the index of 177th longitude. So the value is this one. So you can understand, now you can understand files are actually the values are inside the small grids. Yeah, it means go, you can check from here. From the coordinates, you can check whether the data is global or not. If you check at the coordinates variable, you will see under the coordinate latitudes, you have 87 to 87. Actually, this is not global because if it is global, there should be negative 9 to positive 9. There are some two reductions during the polar sides. The two lines are good. And when it comes to here, longitudes is 357 is global. So now you see these data are in Kelvin because here also they mention.
So I need to know that level, what kind of level is it? That's for what? Is it 29?
So now at the beginning, even you can type like NCL file. You have to go to the data directory and you can dump. From there you will see there's another attribute named level. If I go to the data file, my data is in data file, data folder. No, I will first go to the data folder and I will do nc dump -h, then my file name Atmos. So from there, I know if I go scroll up, there should be a variable name level. If I go to the up, or the more, here see, all the latitudes are stored in this latitude variable. Longitudes are stored in this longitude variable. All the levels. So levels are also stored in this level variable. See. So if you need to check the levels, you can just simply get the level and print level. The sign here you can type level and try to view all the levels. Or if otherwise you can use CDO. CDO show level, then you data file. That's what I'm saying. Like you cannot use NCL alone. You can use two different softwares with any other softwares. Like even you can use CDO show time to view all the time state. Even you can view like CDO sinfo to get the information about your data file. You can use CDO functions to view those kind of data instead of using NCL. If you are familiar with CDO, you can use CDO. Otherwise, what you have to do is you have to get this level into a variable in here and print that variable. So it will give you all the levels.
Trying to
What?
yeah, not of levels. I'm trying to put this like
But on the
okay, when you say it's unpleasant,
you This one, like just
Yeah.
straight out.
You don't need to focus on this data because but when you download data from files, then you should have to improve it. No, I'm very sad. Those are the index. So, this one is the index. Why to zero? Why? So this is the index of the commission. Yeah, they can use index, so they can use the. So whenever you need to view the levels, how many levels in here, you can type like, I know that the levels are assigned in L. So I will comment this one and assign levels into my simple level one here from F in. I need to get all the levels. So my levels are named as simple level. So after that I can print these levels. If I save this command and I run this one, it should give me all the levels. Take. Now I print all the levels in this file. So the index of 0 means that pressure level and 29 means this pressure level. Even for the latitudes you can see. Even for the longitudes you can see. These are pressure levels that have in the levels of pressure levels. We have different type of pressure levels we have inside. Yeah, pressure levels. Because if you print, let me print this file also, print T also. If I print the summary of T, let me copy this one to here. Now I am printing, first I am printing the levels and then I am printing the T. So here you will see dimensions. What are the dimensions in my T? Temporary. The dimension of T is dimension. Level, I have 30 levels and then latitude and longitude. Now I need to know what are the levels that I have. So in the top 5, 3, 5 all the levels I have. So here 29 means with the 0 is 30. So these are the 30 levels that I have inside this one. So different temperature levels. So whenever I need to access this level, the temperature of this level, what should I use? Just imagine I need to check the temperature in this level. We should be 29. Whenever subscripting, I should use 29. So the subscripting mode is time, then the level, then the latitude, longitude. So just imagine my T values. If I only need to subscript, I need also forget my date. But if I need to subscript, if just imagine I only need to get the T values in 29 pressure levels for the first time mistake. How should I try it? So the PD
of the specific level you need, you can type T within bracket. The first dimension is time. So if I need the first time interval, I should type 0. The index for the first time interval is 0. Then comma. After the comma, the second dimension is level. So if I need levels, I can type 29. If I type 29, that means this is the index. I am referring to the index. If within bracket, I mention this one, it also refers to the 29 pressure. If I use bracket, I have to use actual name of that pressure. If I use without brackets, I can directly call from the index. So you can shuffle this one also. Then, if you need all the latitudes, you can press 2 colons, and then all the longitudes, you can press 2 colons. So after doing this one, you can just simply print this one. You can try to print simple PD. Try to print the simple PD. Try to do a subscript like this and try to print this one. Then you will see number of dimensions will be reduced to 2. Because right now, you have simplified only to these 2 dimensions and you will only left with 2 dimensions. Try to do this one. You guys can try to do this.
Okay, this is elaboration. I know these people, it will the comma, then the
Yeah.
comma, then the
Yeah.
maybe you can.
Dot means, these 2 dots mean get over the levels. You are not specifying the range. Whatever the levels in the original file, whatever the latitudes in the original file, get over the latitude. If you specify like the minimum value, then the maximum value like this, after the comma, then you enter all the longitudes. So like this, if you specify like this, it will go for the index. Without the brackets, if you mention, it's going for the index. If you use with the brackets, you are calling for the actual value, actual latitude.
Give an example, let's say you want to pick some range of, let's say, for that, what else we have to do it arrange the
If you need to certain space of latitudes, you can, from here we know, latitudes are ranging from negative 87 to positive 87. If I need the range between negative 80 to 0, I can just specify like negative 80 to 0. Yeah, while the dot is in the middle and these 2 brackets. If I am using this one without the bracket, this will give you an error. Right now I am using the index. Now I should know what's the index for negative 80 and what's the index for 0.
So you have to put the bracket.
Yeah, it's better to put the brackets if you are subscripting the longitudes and the latitudes instead of going for the index. But for the levels, you can go for the index. So you can print and check whatever the data you need and get that specifically.
If you are not going for the index, you need the whole thing. Then put this
Brackets.
press.
Yeah. Without the brackets, you are using the index. With the brackets, you are calling directly for the specific latitude or longitude level. So you can try to do this part also. In your script, you can try to do the subscript part. It's called the subscript T. So if we need to do the subscript, now I already import my temperature in here. So I need to subscript it into a specific level. So I will subscript this one into T, 29th level, equal my simple T, because here I mentioned all the T values in there. Now I know the dimension of my T. First dimension is T, so it will be 0. Then the second dimension is levels. From the levels, if I need the 29th dimension, I will press 29, the last level. Then if I need all the latitudes, I will put 2 colons, comma. If I need all the longitudes, again I will put a colon. So here I only import the first time step for the 29th pressure level. So now if I print this T90, the 29, if I print T29, what will I get? What will I get? Print var summary, not print 29. If it will display all the values. So if I run this script now, save and run this script now, you will see the variable name T29. It has only two dimensions, level, latitudes and longitudes. But I didn't subscript the latitudes and the longitudes in here. See, this one is my T9, the T29 variable. So T29 variable into T29 variable, I subscript for the first time is them 29 special. So is the body name subscriptive?
That level is still like is defined the data. That level ELET
Yeah.
is defined there. Just call it.
Yeah, because previously I just put this one to check the levels. After, if you don't need to print these levels, you can simply uncomment this. Just hit comment. So now these two lines will not run whenever you run the script. You can see because previously I didn't comment those two lines. So it gives me the variable t information and also it prints the levels. But if I comment these two lines and save this script and run the same script again, now it will only print the last T29 variable information only from me. So that's how you can use print command in your script to check the variable information.
So you can see the time and the level dimension as the
Reduced. Yeah, it's because we specify here, we specifically focusing on the specific dimension. Here you can see the 0 time interval and the 29 pressure level.
So we have put the two dimensions.
Yeah, because we are getting only these two files. But here you can see all the latitudes and longitudes are there. But if you need to concentrate only for a specific region, you can do that thing also. Just imagine if you need to concentrate only on specific latitudes level. So here I can specify the latitudes I am going to focus within two brackets. So I am focusing only in -80 to 0. So if I put like this and print the output, what will be the output? Right now you can see in here the latitudes in my T29 variable goes from -87 to +87. And even the longitudes. So every data set is entirely global. But right now I'm going to specifically focus on that specific latitude range. So I can save this one. I can save this script and run this one again. So now if I run, here you will see this one, this change.
The top is just the same.
Top is it same. But here I only select that range.
Assuming the sample alone.
Here you might also get a problem like here I put 80 and 0, but in here it's not again like 80 and 0. It's because
Maybe the pressure of dimension doesn't change the number.
yeah, dimension will never change.
Number of latitudes will remain the same.
It remains the same because here I'm giving the range. Here if I specify only one latitude, just imagine I'm focusing on 0. If I type only 0, that means I'm only focusing on 0 latitude. So if I save this command and run this one, how many dimensions will be there in the final one? Only one. If you print this one, you will see only longitude. See? Because why? Because there is specified 0 time is there, 29 pressure level, and then the longitude is
I just think that the number 128 to change after giving it the boundary, the range 128.
here.
Yeah.
That is the longitude levels in USB. How many longitude levels we have? Over the longitude level. Because we didn't specify the longitude level. Even in the there you can after this comma, you can specify the
Okay.
longitude levels also. If you need to inspect the value of a specific location, you can give the specific longitude in here also. So now it will only print me a value for that certain location that I am focusing. Here if I type 180 and run this one, now you see, it gives me a value. That value means where? Now you should understand, this value is where? In this specific level, this is specific time step for this specific level, for this specific latitude, for this specific longitude.
So it is not
The
about
value is this one, only one.
So if you really think work on define a range of a
Yeah, then you can specify the specific longitude and the latitude in there.
and a range of not a specific like from this to this.
They say that if you have
If I also wait for the estimate.
Yeah.
you want to pick a certain
That area type. Your data type is like the map is like this one is the entire world.
Yes,
And if you are focusing on Africa, you need to click data into this one.
Yes.
So you can access like using the same thing here. Here you can do the same thing. So here you have to give the specific region, like the minimum latitude for your region. I don't know about that the minimum latitude for Africa. You can type the minimum latitude, then here mean latitude, then after that max. You have to give actual values. Here you have to type the minimum latitude first and the maximum longitude for the Africa. I think you guys know about that. You're focusing on a specific region. What's the minimum latitude and your maximum latitude for your region? 40-40. So if it is 40-40, then you have to give like negative 40, then the positive 40. Minus 40, then positive 40. Then here you have to specify the longitude. But yeah, it's also the minimum and maximum. But here you have to check. Let me print the var summary of t, because if I print the var summary of t, you will see that your long values are from ranging from 0 to 357. That means it's from negative. It's not from negative 180 to positive 180. So if you mention, you need to put the longitudes from like it's not in negative to positive. It's like positive. If you need to get 180 to negative 180 to positive 180, you have to long flip. There's another command to flip this data into the negative to get the longitudes value from negative 180 to positive 180. Yeah, there's a command for that. So you have to do that one. So if you are going to apply that one to the T, you can go to the NCL website. Let me go to the NCL website and show you guys. Lone flip NCL. This command. So lone flip, then your function. So here you can see. So the midpoint of this one is 180. This data. Right now we also facing the same situation. See, our data also like this. But if we use like T, lone flip T, then the data will be like this. So we need our data to be like this first. So we can use this command, lone flip command. So how we can apply? So T equal. So let me print these two separately. After this print, I will print my T equal lone flip. Then the T. I need to flip the lone of that same T and display. After that, I will display same data.
maybe you can get the TT1
Yeah.
so we can still have the
Yeah, I will take that. Otherwise, we will confuse what I am doing. Because previously, if you guys remember what I did, like x equal 1, then x equal 2. If you understand this, you know what I have done.
yeah.
If you didn't understand this, you don't know what I have done in there. So if this one is T1, I can print T1. So if I run this command, you can see right now. So T1, if you go to the T1, longitudes are from negative 80, 180 to positive 180. But my simple T is ranging from 0 to 357. So that's why I'm telling you need to print and view your data, how the coordinate is varying or not. Just imagine you in here without let alone flip, you type something else like I need data from negative 80 to positive 80 longitude, but you will end up with error. So we can give the same exact coordinate like this, and we can comment this flipping command. Let me comment this too. So if I run this one, now I will be end up with error.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's giving me, but here if you see, you will see it's from 0 to 80. Because in my data set I have 0 to 357 or something. But in my terminal I said negative 80 to positive 80. But NCL didn't find any command related to the negative 80. The closest thing he will find is 0. So that's why it's getting from 0 to 70.
So if I understand this, with this one, if your data cover the long and light cover, it's okay, you can use this one.
Yeah.
But the situation where you're long,
If your loan is in a different format like this, first you need to do the loan flip. Let me do the same thing. I will flip the loan. Now I flip the loan in T1. Here you can see the T1 is loan flip. So I will copy the same commands, like these two same commands. So yeah, I will copy this one again. Paste, but this thing need to be go to the top. So T1. If I access T1 and print T20, this one let's say T28 or something. Instead of saying the same name. Now if I print this one, you will see at the beginning I have my T values from 0. The longitude of the first T value is from 0 to 357. Then I try to apply. Here you can see first I print the T values. So this T belongs to this value. Then T29. Then I subscript and print T29 values. So for T29 values, from here you can see, even from here you can see how many latitudes are there. 28 latitudes. And the latitudes ranging from 0 to 78. Then what I have done, I have flipped the longitude in that file. From instead of using 0 to 360, I use like from negative 180 to positive 180. So from there, I use, this is the flipped one. So in the flipped data set, you will see from negative 180 to positive 180. So if I call that same exact thing, like select this range, now here you will see from negative 78 to positive 78. So this is focusing on the LONO. So the longitude value is 57 in here. But in here, the longitude value is 29. So I think now you can understand what's going on here. Because whenever you type something like here, it's accessing the closest grid value. Because in your gridded data, you cannot say I have a grid line going on directly in the negative 80. NCL is choosing the closest line where to the negative 80.
assuming you have this in your serial file or in your data, then easily you go there and just pick it for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you don't have it, you have to flip.
It is, yeah, flip. So if you see the longitudes or values are ranging from this, like this way, the two things that you can do, you have to convert your negative 80 to positive 80 range to be 0 to 357. You can convert this one. Otherwise, you can do loan flip to this data set and use this one directly. The best option is to do the loan flip. If you see your data is ranging from, the longitudes are ranging from 0 to 360, then it's better to do the loan flip for that data. before you do it subscripting or something. What?
Because there is that everything there. It's my class, active to our units are from 0 to 3. So once we come to print with the why country use now the positive value? Because they are ranging from 0 to 360. Why do we use here and we instead of using the one using the same format?
That means,
The format of the note should change even in the latter.
yeah,
From the note to 0 to 360.
yeah,
But in our selection, we have used negative 80 to 80.
yeah, yeah.
Why can't we use the same format?
Yeah, we can use the same format. That's what I'm saying. If you are using like if you need to show the El Nino fluctuation, just imagine you try to show the El Nino fluctuation. So the America is here and the ACL part is here in the map. If you go from negative 180 to positive 180. So when you try to display that map, you cannot use like negative 180 to positive 180. So it will give you some errors when you are trying to print that map. So you have to use from 0 to 360. It's because when you are trying to print this map, this one actually will be useful when you are trying to print your map for the specific purpose. You can use the same specific latitudes, but you have to make the conversion. Where is your negative 180? So here negative 180 means, so if you are going from negative 180 to 80, you have like 100 gap. See, you have the gap between negative 180 to negative 180 is 100. The gap between those 2 points is 100. So if you are selecting the same exact latitudes and longitudes level, here you should need to put like 100. Then the positive 180, then positive 80 means there are another 100. That means 360 minus 100, 160. So you have to make the conversion. So from these two methods, you can select the same latitude, focus on the same area. But the problem is you have to do the conversion. Then you select the longitude levels. You think you didn't understand it yet. Because the midpoint, because in here, if you see in here, if you have the values from 0 to 357, the midpoint is 180. So if you have the data from ranging from 180 to positive 180, the midpoint is 0.
But to me, I think, for example, in our country people don't know these negatives.
Yeah.
Because it is negative. So that's why we have to do long to bring it in the negative format so that you can choose it using your community.
So in the map, you can see when you are plotting the longitudes level.
Yeah.
So if you plot the longitude level in your map, if you are putting the longitudes level in here, it will be from 0 to 306. So the midpoint is 180.
Yes.
The same map, if you do the longitude, in this map, you want longitudes are ranging from 180. The midpoint is 0. This one is 180. Just imagine your country situation in here. So what's the coordinate for the long values in here and here? Then you have to calculate the same long values from here to here. So here it will be 100 and less than 100, let's imagine like 100 to, we can say like 150 or something. So you can use this coordinate if you didn't do the long flip. If you do the long flip, you can directly use like negative 80 to negative 10 or something. Just imagine this your country situation in, I don't know, negative 80 to negative 20. So what's the conversion in here? So from here to here, 80 means 100 units. So this one should be 100. From here, from 0 to here is how many? If we select like 20 units. So from here to here, 20 units means I need to subtract 20 units from here. So it's 160. So both output will give you the same result. But you need to do this conversion. If you use the values without doing lone flip, then your range is from 100 to 160. But if you do the lone flip, you can use -8 to -12. We can discuss this one about when we do the plot, because right now we are not doing the plotting now. When we do the plot, you will understand. That means, I mean, so the next thing, we didn't even do the conversion for this one. We are actually planning to do the conversion. To do the conversion, what you can do, like if you need to do the conversion, now the temperature in Kelvin, you need to do the conversion into Celsius.
Because we need
This is why we are doing lone flip, because in here, this axis in the latitude we will see from 90 to -9. This will be same in the both. This one will be same in the both. But this axis will be different when you are plotting. If you didn't do the lone flip, the axis will be labeled like this. If you do the lone flip, the axis will be like this. That's the difference. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The plotting comes at the last step. Before that, you need to understand this one. If you don't understand these basics, you cannot go for the plot. You will face a lot of difficulties. So just imagine how we can convert these values into Celsius. Right now we know the values are in temperature, how we can convert. But the problem is on Monday onwards, I am planning to do the floating, but we didn't discuss that much about the theory. We can go to the floating directly, but the problem without knowing the theory, if I go to the float, it will be like alien language. If you understand the data and everything, the floating is just simple. It's easy. Because now only we are only dealing with SCDF files. I think you guys are dealing with CSV or text files. So you need to know how to import those things into the here also.
Class is over. See you again Monday. Máy ơi, mà ta thì ôi mà cái máy online.
Yeah. Because it's not easy to give like everything. Okay. Everything?
Not